Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Blue Box episode review for you guys as we are continuing on with this wonderful romance. We get the date episode, yes, the Aquarium date episode, and just like I made a mention about not too long ago, I think it was probably I think my first episode review of this show. Um, I talked about Hina and the fact that clearly she is going to be the girl that gets, well, Sai, or I guess you can say, is the girl that gets friend zoned because the main character likes the main girl of the series. Because when is there never a romance anime where you have a best friend character who's known your main character for years and they actually like the main character, and then next thing you know, said main character of course likes another girl, and that results in the side girl, the best friend, getting friend zoned. And usually they're sometimes the best girl in the series. um so yeah, you have that interesting development there. So yeah. Also too, yes, I voted. I voted. I'm not gonna give away who I voted for, blah 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 blah. All I gotta say is, people, go vote. Your voice always makes a difference. That's basically a thing. It doesn't matter what political party you affiliate with or who do you prefer. Just go out there, go vote. You know, it is what it is. Don't take things too seriously. If you know whatever happens. But anyways, this week's episode of Blue Box again was another good episode. We basically at the start of the episode get the climax to Taiki's match against the one guy. And Taiki ends up winning. And it goes to show you how much better he's been getting. So that's the good thing. Anyways, after he wins, his best friend, the glasses dude, and then Hina come to just congratulate him on his win. And then that's when Chinatsu ends up texting him like, "Hey, do you want to go out to the aquarium?" And it's funny because Taiki starts freaking. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what the hell?" And Hina's like, "Oh, you're going to the, is this her asking you out on a date?" And Hina then even asks, like, "I didn't know you guys were that close to the point like you're on a texting type of thing." And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, we just started to get to know each other a little bit more, and the things happening." Also, his friend just tells Taiki, like, "Look, I just talked with her and I asked her if you ended up winning your match that she would take you to the aquarium." So that's the whole thing right then and there. So yeah, anyways, Hina has to go, and then as she's going, she I think meets up with one of her like teammates or whatever, and her teammate is like, "Hey, you good? You look kind of mad or something." And she's like, "Huh? Me mad?" Which when I saw that line, I'm like, "Oh boy, yeah." I'm like, deep down, she's happy because in the leading up to getting to see her teammate, she's like, "Well, it's nice to know that he's making some progress." And then when the moment her teammate said like, "You look mad," I'm like, "Oh boy." She's starting to get a little bit jealous that he's getting closer with Chinatsu and probably not her. So there you go. Anyways, my man gets home. He's freaking the hell out about their aquarium date, essentially, that they're going on. He doesn't know what he wants to wear. It's just going all sorts of crazy for him. And it's like, okay, my man, chill, chill. He ends up, I guess, falling asleep. And then he wakes up. He then gets up. He got himself a nice, set of clothes he's wearing. And then I think he drops like some like dimes or whatever, and he has to pick them up because he's in a rush. And then Shinatsu's right there, and she's wearing a very cute blue dress. Listen, man, I'm like, my man is so lucky. My man is lucky. He gets to go out on a date with a very cute girl. Like Shinatsu. Listen, she's cute. You can't deny that. I can't take it away. I think she's probably best girl, one of the best girls in this show or in this season of anime. So they end up going on this aquarium date. Obviously, our boy Taiki's just wondering, like, I wonder why she's like even wanted to do this with me and everything. So, the more he's thinking about that, and he's just admiring the fact, like, she's just so damn cute in that dress. I'm like, again, man, I can't blame him for thinking that. She does look cute. But then it gets to the point where, like, this one kid bumps into them, and in a weird way, she leans on him, and what is it? They like graze hand touching right then and there. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, so yeah, that also too, that ends up them having a conversation where she's like, "Hey, I actually need to tell you something." And the thing is, she was gonna say like, "Sorry." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And she ends up saying like, "Hey, look, I'm sorry for saying what I said in the last episode about you having like only like 2 more years left and everything. It was like very insensitive of me to say that." And she just took that as approach like it was insensitive. I should have not said that. I should have thought about it before saying it to you. I just didn't think how hard you worked and how much like getting better meant to you. So I wanted to take this time to apologize because I couldn't get this out of my head if I didn't just say it. So, it's a nice thing of her to actually say that, like, even though she didn't really have to say it, but hey, she was thoughtful enough to be like, "Hey, look, I apologize for sounding so insensitive to you. I should have probably not sounded like that because if I didn't, or if I did, I don't know how you would feel about me and everything." So yeah. And then Taiki, he kind of like, "Oh, thank goodness. I thought it was something more important." So then he sends her a text saying like, "Look, if there's ever anything you need to talk to me about, send me like this penguin emoji or this fat penguin emoji, and then I'll hear you out." So I'm like, that's pretty cool. You kind of get their relationship building and getting stronger to the point it's like, okay, they're already close, but this is how they're gonna probably get closer. And then it's like, okay, he made this whole thing. It's like, hey, look, I'm here to talk if you need somebody to talk to, and like if there's something you need to talk about that's bothering you or just something you just need to talk, just send this emoji and I'll be there right away. So it's gonna be interesting, especially if like maybe there's something that she needs to talk to, like maybe something comes up and maybe she sends that thing, or like maybe at some point she's gonna get down about something and then she sends the text maybe at like school and then he goes to her aid, which would be pretty cool. So there's that. And I'm just gonna try to look anymore throughout the date. And that's basically it. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention. She does send a text message. And he's like, "What is it? Do you need to talk to me about?" And she essentially like kind of like just covers her face up and everything, and it's just like, and I'm just like, bro, is she going to like tell him something like pretty important? And she had that feeling like, or that look like she was going to tell him like she might actually like potentially like him. But then she ends up saying like, "You're a good housemate." Um, Now, listen, I'm going to interpret this on my own. Again, we've gotten a little bit of her perspective. We haven't fully got about fully her perspective on if her feelings about Taiki. Like we haven't had that moment to where like maybe her friends or even the one guy, Taiki's like mentor, I'm just asking like, "Hey, how do you feel about that Taiki dude? Do you like him like that, or do you just like him as a friend?" And so far with like last episode, it seemed like, clearly she got flustered when the dude took his shirt off and everything and showed off his freaking six pack, and she got a little bit flustered about that. And then here, albeit she says like, "You're a good housemate," it's like, I'm just like, the way she like was like leading up to saying that, I'm like, I think deep down she might be developing a crush on him. Like I said, like my title of the last episode review says, like, is Chinatsu starting to develop feelings for Taiki? I think she honestly is. I think she's admiring the fact like he's working super hard, and then also to listen, his friend legitimately told her last week, like, "Hey, if I'm just being honest, like he's working harder because of you." Like, if that is not giving, if that's not making her feel some sort of way, like oh, that means this dude must think very highly of me. He must really like me or something like that. Or like he looks up to me or something important. And then obviously he inspired her in the first episode not to move and stay. And then, obviously he's doing a bunch of other nice things and he's having these one-to-one, heart-to-heart conversations, and stuff like that. So, I feel like in that moment, it looked like she might have said like, hey, I really like you, but maybe she's like, she just can't work up the courage to say that yet. And again, like I said, who knows? We haven't seen her full out perspective. So she legitimately actually might like Taiki too. She might actually like him back. And, because listen, she told the friend, like, okay, for sure, I'll go go to the aquarium with him. Like, she didn't have to say that. She's like, nah, it's fine. I think he'll be okay. But she's literally is like, yeah, sure, I'll take him to the aquarium if that's the case. And I bet you she had to be flustered as well. Like, she's literally going on a date with a boy, that even though she lives with and she knows, it's like, okay, it's still a dude. So he says that, or she says that, and it's like, okay, maybe she's just working up the courage to get to know him better and be able to like eventually have the courage or the confidence to tell him like, hey, I really like you. Um, so yeah, so we then cut back to the school, or like it's like I think the next day of school, he's basically telling his friend how their date went, essentially. Um, and he's like, "Oh well, it went good." He has like rice on his face. She ends up walking by and he sees her. She looks at him and she's just like, "You got rice on your face, my guy," which is funny because then he wipes it off. He's like, "Oh," so it's like. Yes, they're not like talking during school hours, so they can keep kind of like, okay, like they don't know each other or something, but she's clearly giving him like, hey, you got something, and she's kind of looking out for him. So I thought it was funny. Hina ends up showing up, talking about asking like, hey, how did your date go and everything, and he's kind of giving a smug face about it, and she's like, why are you giving this smug face and everything? Which it was absolutely hilarious to see that. So anyways, the thing is, he's also has to prepare for like the next match, and they're going up against one of the top schools. Or Taiki's badminton team is going up against one of the top schools in the country of Japan. And apparently, he said his friend said that like they won nationals last year, so Taiki's obviously gotta get better and train. So this will be a good test for Taiki to see how much more he's got to improve. Essentially, he goes on to say like his friend goes on to say, if we don't beat them, we can't make nationals. So that's the funny thing and everything. So yeah. Anyways, you just have it to where Hina gets called over to do an interview because she's obviously a very high level athlete herself. And it's pretty cool to see that, okay, she's pretty good in her own right and everything. Now, I feel like, her friend or his friend, Taiki's friend, the guy with the glasses, is seeing something. So that's the thing right there. Or seeing something in Hina, like something might not be right. Anyways, after she gets like checked up, I guess it looked like she must have got a massage or something. She runs into Chinatsu, and basically they have a talk. Hina's like talking more about Taiki to Chinatsu, I guess, in a weird way to kind of give him props or points and everything. And Chinatsu's like, oh, hey, wait, do you? And then she ends up getting interrupted or something like that. But I'm probably thinking that, because so far with the talk we've seen of Chinatsu and Hina together, Hina's been trying to be like the wing girl reluctantly, I guess you can say, and I guess piping up our boy Taiki to Chinatsu. And Chinatsu, I think at this point, she's probably wondering like, and she was about to ask a question like, hey, do you like Taiki? Because she was legitimately gonna say like, hey, do you like Taiki or whatever? But she got interrupted. So it's raining. They end up walking home. Shinatsu leaves to walk home, and then she sadly forgot her phone, right? And Hina's like, oh, I can give her phone. I just saw her walk out. So as she's walking, she's following Chinatsu, and then lo and behold, she sees that Chinatsu is walking into obviously Taiki's residence, and she knows that. And then, you know, Taiki opens the door and it's like, "Oh, hey, Chinatsu, how are you doing?" and everything. She's like, "Oh, I'm fine," and blah 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 blah. And then basically, Hina gets revealed to the fact that now she sees that Taiki and Chinatsu are living together. And lo and behold, well, I don't know how she's gonna feel about that. And she's very much shocked. She is very much shocked by this. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. So yeah. Well, it's it's definitely interesting. Also, I forgot to make a mention too. Um what is it? I forgot to make the mention. When she first approached Chinatsu, she sees the penguin, which is the same penguin from the emoji that Taiki sent out. So maybe Taiki and Hina have some sort of like keychain type of penguin thing. So that could be a reason. But now Hina knows that they're living together. How this is gonna make her feel, I don't know. Does she start to judge or avoid Taiki, and is this could be thing, or this thing could be worse because it could be like, why didn't you tell me like we're actually living with her? And then eventually the secret's gonna have to be out like, oh, she's only living with me because her parents moved out of town essentially. And her mom and my mom are like best of friends, so she thought it was the best thing um to live in my house. Now, again, we're already getting to the point where it's established that I think that it's clear that Hina has feelings for Taiki. For whatever reason, she's not expressing it. And she's kind of trying to do the whole, I'm gonna leave my feelings to the side because clearly this dude likes this other girl, but I wish I was kind of, again, this could lead into some drama right here and everything, and it's just like, oh, well, this is gonna be interesting. This is definitely gonna be interesting at the point where it seems like she potentially could be getting friend zoned soon. But solid episode of Blue Box. Continue to really like Blue Box, man. It's a really damn good show. I am really liking this show. It's probably one of the best romance shows I've watched, and I definitely can't wait to see more. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Blue Box content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest day. And if you haven't voted, well, go out there and go vote. Till then, guys, peace.